Hey everyone, it's Jen. Thanks so much for joining me for this week's Friday haul. Today is Friday, May 9th. Hope you guys are doing great. You're looking forward to the weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all of you moms, and I hope you get appreciated and honored for what you do for your families on Sunday. I have a very small haul today, so I thought we'd do a little craft with me after, just to, make the video a little bit longer. I literally have 2 items to show you from this week. I did place an order with a cherry on top for a lot of papers from the new American Crafts collections, but they're not supposed to be here till tomorrow, so I'll have to show them next week. But yeah, let's get started, and I'll show you what we're going to make together in case you want to watch that. All right, so the first item I got is this beautiful wrapping paper from Home Goods, and it was $3.99. It's so pretty, I thought. It's by Rachel Ashwell, who does Shabby Chic, and let's see, how much is in here? A continuous roll, 30 square feet. And the feel of it is really nice. It feels like wrapping paper, but nice and thick, and it's got, I don't know if you could see, yeah, you could see kind of like a texture to it. So I think this will make really nice bows, and it's just like really soft grays and blues and pinks and just very shabby chic, and I love it. So I got that to wrap gifts with, but also to use in crafting. And then I got this at TJ Maxx. These aren't necessarily for crafting, but I thought I'd use them for that. They're a 6-pack of juice bottles for $6.99. They're plastic. And I thought these would be great for sequins, beads, shaker mixes, things like that. So if you want to know the size, okay, so this is like one of those jars from Michaels that you can buy sequins or shaker mixes in. They also sell them like in a 6-pack, which I've bought to, contain clay bits that didn't have a bottle, so you could see how they compare. These are much, much bigger. So if you have a big pack of shaker, a sequins or a shaker mix, and it's so annoying when you have to divide it up into different bottles. Anyway, you can use these. And these are pink, obviously. They had like a blue color, I think, probably something else. They didn't have mint, otherwise I probably would have gotten that too, but I figured I'd get the pink and just, for storage in my craft room. So those were the only 2 things that I have to share with you today. So, I've been designing for KSCraft lately again, and May has a lot of great dies, so I thought maybe we'd put one together. I did just put up a video on some project shares, but why not make one together? And I did have a comment in my last video asking if I would do some more like craft with me, so I thought that would be fun to do today. So let's put together a really cute die set, and this one is called the Fruity Drink Shaker. These are all the dies it comes with. I did cut out the pieces already just to save some time, but I haven't put this one together yet. I thought it'd be fun to do it together. So it comes with the background die, the frame die, which is stitched, and you can make it into a shaker, a straw. This is a lid, and then you can use this. I'll show you how I used it, but you can use it as a layering piece for the top of the lid. And then it comes with the little wedge, like a citrus wedge slice die set too, and you can make that a shaker if you want as well, but I didn't do that, or we're not going to do that together. And then, okay, that was cut out. So that's the die set we're going to use. And these are just some of the papers that I use to cut some things out. This is an AC cardstock paper, a pale blue. This is a basil yellow called Sour Lemon, if you could see up there, from Joann's, of course. This is a yellow white gingham that I printed out from Etsy, which I print out all the time. I'll try to remember to leave the link down below, the Etsy shop where I got that from. This is also from Joann's, and this is one of their embossed papers. It doesn't say the color name on it, I don't think. Maybe I cut it off, but it's just like the green embossed paper. And then this is the main piece of paper that we're going to use. It's a paper from Doodlebug from the barbecue line, and it is fresh lemonade. This came out a few years ago. Love this paper, and we're going to use the back of that too for the straw. And then this is what I use for my acetate when I make shakers. I get it on Amazon. I will link it down below also. It's 0.005 clear film. It does come in different thicknesses. This is the the sweet spot one that I found for shakers. It's not too thin, it's not too thick, and it cuts really well with dies. So that's what I usually get for my shakers. So those are all of the different materials. And then these are the things that I cut out already. I brought some citrus slices over. Maybe we'll use as decorations or in the shaker. I have this mixture, a pre-made mixture from Picket Fence Studios. I thought it'd be perfect. It has little lemon and lime slices and just, you know, sequins to match. This one is called Zesty. I don't know where I got it. It's either a cherry on top or scrapbook.com. Probably a cherry on top. And then, okay, so let me show you what I cut out. So this, I told you I used that paper for the background, and then I also I used that die, this one right here, to cut out the acetate. And I didn't cut out the handle because, you know, I knew I was going to cut it off, so why waste your acetate? So I cut off the little bit that I had die cut, and then I just cut off the top of the lid too, because you don't need that. And then for the frame part, I cut out of that green polka dot paper. Isn't that stitching detail so nice? And then I also cut it out of my foam board from Walmart, and I love using this foam board because it doesn't warp when you try and glue it. You know, sometimes when you use foam, like this thin piece will, like, you know, slide around and stuff. Oh, that drives me nuts. So did that. And then for the lid piece, I cut it out of some like matte silver paper, and then I used this piece here. I went back and covered the die cut with that, and then cut out this oval here because I thought we could use the top of the straw. I cut the straw, but then I cut it in half, and I'm going to stick that in there and glue it, and then the rest of the straw will stick to the bottom of the shaker, so you'll see it inside the cup. And then here's the little lemon wedge that I made with that gingham paper in the yellow. And then these I made from a new stamp set from KSCraft, which is this one, the ice cream stamp. And I'll link this down below as well. I used You're So Cool and You're Sweet. I'm not making ice cream projects today, but you could use these on anything, you know, sweet or summery, I thought. So I embossed, or I did heat embossing with this one in a liquid platinum embossing powder, and this one is just silver. And then I had this like label looking die in my stash. I don't know if I'm going to use this actually because they look kind of big for this shaker, but if I don't, I'll have them for other projects. This word lemon I cut out of an older KSCraft die set, which is this one. It came out last June, Fruit Shadow words, and those are all the words it comes with: strawberry, fruity, sweet, lemon, cherry, and fresh. So I cut out lemon with coordinating papers. I think we'll probably use this one. I think that'll look nice across the mug, and it won't, you know, cover up the shaker too much. All right, so let's get started putting this together. It'll be very easy. I'm going to use my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive in my glue press and just show you how I make a shaker. So I take the top layer like this, and then we're going to put the acetate in first. So when I cut out the acetate, I usually leave the tissue paper on it, and the tissue paper divides up all the pieces of acetate in the paper pad, just so I could see what I'm doing. So then I take my glue and just go around where your acetate is going to be glued down. And I've done shaker tutorials before, but just in case you haven't seen one or just want a refresher, I mean, people do them in different ways, in different, you know, different layers, but this is how I've always done them and how I like to. All right, and then I just take my acetate or the tissue paper off the acetate and then glue this on top. So I'll just start at the bottom, make sure it's lined up. You don't want to move it around too much once you have it lined up, because that might smudge the glue onto your acetate. If you do smudge the glue onto your acetate, just go ahead and take like a microfiber cloth and wipe it off right away. You can even wet your microfiber cloth a little bit and just wipe it off and it'll be fine. But this looks pretty good. And just press it all down. You want to make sure there are no openings or any sequins to sneak out, especially if you're mailing a card or something. I don't know what this will be for, if it'll be like just an embellishment or layer it on top of a card, maybe a tag, but for now, we'll just make the embellishment. So that's what that looks like. Looks like I gotta press that down. Okay, and then let's see. I'm gonna take this layer here. This is the foam, and we're gonna glue that on top of that. I'm just thinking if I should put the straw in between first. Probably. Maybe we'll put this here, or maybe it should be behind the sequins, you know, in the back. Yeah, let's do that. I don't really want it to be in front of the sequins. Okay, so let's get back to the foam board layer and just add some glue to that as well. Go all the way around. I like to put Craft With Me videos, whoops, I don't know what happened there. Craft With Me videos on while I'm crafting. You know, it feels like you're like crafting with a friend. So I hope you feel that way when I put on Craft With Me videos, because I just feel like we're hanging out and crafting together. All right, let's put that on there. I don't really have like, you know, local friends who like to do this kind of stuff too. So those of you who do, you are lucky. You guys can get together and craft together. So I did get some glue there, but I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm just going to leave it like that because this glue dries clear anyway. Okay, just press it all the way down. Don't rush this part. Make sure there are no spaces for those glue or sequin bits to come out. Okay, so that's going to be like that. And then we could put this on later. Let's make our little sequin mix. So it's so nice to have pre-made mixes like this sometimes. You know, this is like the perfect opportunity to use it. And I've used this before just to like pick out clear sequins or just like, you know, if I need a little lemon or lime slice. But this I need like everything for it. So I'm just going to put it all in there. I don't think we'll use the bigger slices that I brought over. They're just not the right scale for this project. And if you wanted to, you can, you know, stretch this kind of thing out with some just plain sequins, with some diamond dots. Maybe we'll add some diamond dots too. Actually, I don't want to use all of that up. All right, so I've got my diamond dots case right here. So let's get some yellow ones. Just shake some of those in. And then let's see, maybe some white ones. Now these white ones have a little bit of sparkle on them. Just a few white ones. And then I don't know if I have any green ones that shade. Let's see. Let's see, I have these green, these green. This green should work. Add a few of those. Yeah, that should be plenty. I'd love to use diamond dots in my shakers. You know, it just adds movement. They're always small enough for whatever project you're making. Doesn't that look pretty? What a nice shaker mix. All right, so, but before we put that on, we have to put the straw on. So, let's see. I'm gonna figure out, we're gonna put the straw sticking up here. So I'll probably glue it on right there. Actually, I should put it on this part. Okay, so, okay. We're using the yellow and white part of the straw. So yeah, I should definitely do it this way. All right, so the straw is going to go like there. I should have done this ahead of time, but okay. So I'm just going to glue this onto the background paper. Hopefully it looks all right. As you can see, I don't pre-plan too much. All right, so we're just going to put this on like that. And make sure that glue is dry before we put it on the shaker so no sequins stick to it. Okay, just like that. And now we're going to go and put glue on the foam. Make sure you don't get any of the sequin bits. So what are you guys doing for Mother's Day, if anything? We usually go, my husband and I and our kids, we go to a little town nearby that's on a lake, and it's really nice. It's got like cute little shops and restaurants and stuff. It's maybe like 20 minutes away. And we go like rain or shine and go out to lunch. We walk around, go to little shops, walk around the lake. It's just really nice. And then my daughter's boyfriend usually comes with us too, so he'll probably be there, which is wonderful. He's such a nice young man. So that's what we'll do. My mom sadly passed away a long time ago, and you know, so it's kind of bittersweet for me on Mother's Day. But I do, you know, love being a mom, and I've always wanted to be one since I was a little girl, so I'm thankful every Mother's Day. Okay, so let's see how that looks. Oh, isn't that cute? And I did it a lot of sequin or shaker bits, huh? But you can still see everything. All right, so let's add the top layer. So we're going to put this on. And this will go like this. So we want to make it so like it, you know, looks like it's continuing from that, from the one on the inside. All right, let me just glue this down first. A lot of the reason why I don't usually do craft with me's is because I just change my mind so much when I'm crafting. And I have to like look and see how things are looking before I can move on to the next step. I mean, I know there are some people who can like plan everything out ahead of time. And I tried to do that here, you know, by cutting everything. But a lot of the times I won't. I'll start with like the main piece and then just kind of like, you know, figure it out as I go based on that one. All right, so we got that on. Now let's add you. I didn't glue this part down just because I knew we would be sticking this in here. You know, I'm going to cut a little bit more of this off because we don't need it sticking out that much. Okay. There, look how cute that looks, right? And I did the green for the cup because I really wanted to pick up the green on the leaves on the background of the shaker. I just thought it would look nice, you know, having some of the green and yellow, not just everything yellow. And then with the word lemon, I did the background blue to pick up on the blue on the paper in the back too. So I think that would look super cute. And then for the lemon wedge, we could either like, we could either stick in here, maybe just like put, I want you to be able to see it. It would look cute down here, you know, just like a lemon wedge, but that's kind of cute too, you know, just kind of resting on the handle. Yeah, I kind of like that actually. And then if you want to, you can pop it up a little bit. I'm gonna do that. You guys know that I use these like foam circles, or not foam, but double-sided foam stickers. I use these a lot. These come from Dollar Tree, and they're just really thin, see? So they just add a little bit of dimension. I'm just going to put one there. That's okay. I was going to move it, but we'll just leave it like that. And then this, I'll just glue right onto the middle there. And as I mentioned, I don't know, it was at the end of my last video in case, or was it my last video? One of my most recent videos. In case you didn't hear it, I'm planning a 15,000 subscriber giveaway. Once my channel reaches that amount. I'm not, you know, not one of those YouTubers who's really like overly concerned about numbers or anything like that. But I think, you know, it's kind of a fun accomplishment and just a milestone, really. Not really an accomplishment. But I just want to celebrate like everybody who's helped me and my channel to reach that amount of subscribers, which I'm so grateful for. So yeah, I'm just going to have a giveaway once that happens, a few hundred more subscribers, which, you know, thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed. If you haven't, go ahead and click on subscribe, and yeah, it'll help us get there sooner rather than later, and it will be for US and international. So, because I know there's a lot of international subscribers out there, which I'm very, very grateful for. Now, it would be cute to put something there, maybe like a little lemon slice, or, by the way, see, don't you think that's too big for there? Yeah, I'll use that for something else. Let's see, let's take out a lemon. Could put a lime, but I don't know how that would look. A little gem would look nice here. Maybe a sequin. This is kind of, I don't know, is it too redundant to have a lemon slice on a lemon? No, it's sticking. Let's just see. No, I like it. Yeah, let's add him there. So just take a dot of glue. Just something a little unexpected, you know. And then that ties into the sequin mix too. Get down there. Oops, I put on the wrong side. Oh well. Just because I had glue on the other side. All right, so there's our shaker. Let's measure this. And it comes out to be, I won't measure the straw, of course. It is about 3 5/8 by 3 inches. And I think that's so cute. I think this will make a really, really cute tag. Or, you know, if I need a quick summary card, I could just put this on a card base, and I think that would look really fun. And of course, you can make these in all sorts of different fruits, or, you know, whatever kind of beverage you like. But of course, this one is lemon. So yeah, that is the fruit, what did I say it was called? Fruity Drink Shaker. And I will link it down below. In addition, I'll link the stamp set, even though I didn't use them. I'll link this one too if I can find it. That was from last summer. The fruit, that one was called, let's see, Fruit Shadow Words. And yeah, I think that's all I'm linking, unless, did I mention? I'll look at my video and see if I mention anything else. Oh, you know how it is. You forget stuff. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me today. It was really fun. I felt like I was just, you know, talking to my friend. So I'm so glad you're here. And I really do consider you guys friends. You're just, you know, you leave me such sweet comments. And I feel like we've gotten to know each other over the years. I'm just very grateful for you guys. So thank you for watching. Happy Mother's Day, moms. And if you're not celebrating this weekend, I'm thinking of you. I know it's a hard time for a lot of women out there. So, you know, we're thinking about you too. Don't feel left out. And that's it for today. I'll be back soon with more crafty videos. And until then, hope you guys have a great day and a great weekend. I'll talk to you later. Bye.